Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to be reading another drama from our idiom playbook. These are animal idioms. And this play is called Hold Your Horses. A group of kids are in study hall, and when Justin comes in looking worn out, he sits down next to Mike. Mike says, "Hi, Justin." Justin says, "Hi." Mike says, "Are you okay? You look like something the cat dragged in." Justin says, "I feel awful too. It's been an awful day." Mike says, "What happened?" Justin says, "I was late to school and I forgot my homework. I failed a quiz. I got in trouble for copying even though it wasn't my fault. And I have about 200 hours of homework." Mike says, wait, hold your horses." And Justin says, "What?" Mike says, "Just tell me one thing at a time. What do you mean you got caught copying? Who were you copying from?" Justin says, "I wasn't copying. Mrs. Carson thought I was copying, but she was barking up the wrong tree. I wasn't copying." Mike says, "What happened?" And Justin says, "Do you know Lawrence? He sits next to me in math class, and he is always trying to copy from my paper. When I told him to stop, Mrs. Carson yelled at me." And Mike said, Did she say that you were copying?" And Justin says, "No, she just told me to stop talking." And Mike said, "Did she give you an F on the assignment?" And Justin says, "No." Mike says, "I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill." And Justin says, "What?" Mike says, "I mean, you're making it into a bigger deal than it really is." Justin says, "I'm tired of Lawrence getting away with everything." Caitlin overhears the boys talking and sits down. Caitlin says, "Did Lawrence try to copy off you again?" Justin says, "Yes, he's such a copycat. I don't understand how Mrs. Carson doesn't know it." Caitlin says, "She doesn't know it because Lawrence is a wolf in sheep's clothing." Justin says, "What do you mean?" Caitlin says, "He acts very nice and sweet to the teacher, but really, he's a troublemaker." Justin says, "That's true, and I pay the price. It's not fair." Caitlin says, "Don't worry. Every dog has its day." Justin says, "What? He's a wolf, and now I'm a dog?" Caitlin says, "No, I mean that you'll get your chance to shine. And don't worry, Lawrence will get caught one day." Mike says, "I don't know how that will happen. All the teachers love him. It really gets my goat." And Caitlin says, "I know. It makes you mad." Justin says, "It makes us all mad." And Mike says, "We can complain until the cows come home, but it won't do any good." Justin says, "Cows?" Caitlin says, "He means that we can complain forever, but it still won't help." And Justin says, "Well, I still have a lot of things to complain about. I was late for school, I failed a quiz, and I have 200 hours of homework tonight." And Mike says, "Okay, Justin, don't have a cow